Yes, guys, very sorry. A little bit later start today. Let me adjust the screen a bit for you guys. Can everybody hear me loud and clear? Everything should be working again. So you guys had some Wi-Fi issues, but we're back online. So glad to be here as always, regardless that we're a little bit late. The entire Wi-Fi just got screwed up, but we made it, guys. So fantastic. Thanks, guys, for being patient. I think most of the people thought that it wouldn't go ahead, but we're here. It's gonna be a little bit of a shorter one today, but I want to just give you guys a quick update on what's been going on. Obviously, yesterday I provided you with a very big update inside Discord. If you haven't yet checked that, make sure to check it out, because I gave a full breakdown of why EURUSD is currently flying in towards the highs. Because it's not just one reason for it, but there are actual multiple reasons for EURUSD bullishness. But again, I won't go into too much detail in this live stream, because otherwise I'm just going to be yapping about fundamentals for you. We're going to focus just on the technicals. So EURUSD obviously pushing and continuously pushing up higher, expecting higher prices still on EURUSD. It is likely that EURUSD will move towards 1.19. Following the overall current market structure break that we've seen here on the 4-hour time frame, but also definitely on the daily, where the overall order flow has shifted. Now again, this just shows the power of the strategy if you execute it purely based on, let's say, the mechanical aspect of it, where you would say that this here is the impulse in towards the highs, and once we saw a retracement into the lowest liquidity point, which is situated here, you can see that that is where the next impulsive phase in towards the highs starts from. Overall, now with the order flow being broken, so the overall buy before the sells now shifting, it now means that there is a new opportunity to look for longs, because again, there's definitely no shorts anymore on the table for myself. We're now in a long only market, where currently the overall demand zone is this entire sell before the buy up. And after today, I will be looking for new long positions on EURUSD on the next pullback in towards the downside. So let's see if we can get that. We'll be looking for potential skill-ins on EURUSD further in towards the highs. And then obviously looking at those potential skill-ins, you'll be looking at, let's say, this as the impulsive leg up. And then, for example, here we could classify this as an overall liquidity low. Let's see what and how price develops, but I'll definitely be looking for some further upside in that regard on EURUSD, both from a technical and from a fundamental perspective. Longs now are the only thing, at least for myself, that now makes sense. Furthermore, I've been looking across the board at EURUSD, which gave a great setup this morning for whoever is interested. I'm not sure, I think I highlighted this morning as well within the market outlook. I've talked about EURUSD quite a lot. Obviously, it had a period of very consolidative sideways price action, though ultimately what remained intact was the bullish price action of the daily swing structure, where we have a swing low positioned here, a swing high positioned here. We take out the final liquidity low of that impulsive leg in towards the upside. We get the overall retracement, and then obviously at some point in time we can expect the next move up. Pretty much you would expect the first move up here from this liquidity low here, stop loss underneath the lows, and then obviously the next leg up can be expected. Now the big difference between, let's say, seeing losses and wins using this overall strategy is that you don't identify the impulse up correctly, because what a lot of traders would do is that instead of here looking at the daily, they would look at the 4-hour time frame. And then based on the 4-hour time frame, the mistake that they make is that they say, okay, this here, for example, is my fib leg up, and here I have my demand zone, and then I'm going to go long like this with my stop loss underneath the low whatsoever, or even like this. But that's crucial to, or in that regard, it's crucial to zoom out, focus on the daily first of all, identify your daily impulse there, identify your liquidity lows, and then understand that that is then what is most likely gonna fuel that next leg up. So AUD/USD is currently in its impulsive phase, and in the impulsive phase we can be aggressive because again, here we had the break of structure, impulsive phase up, and then we had the retracement in towards the downside, which is this orange phase here. So we have this orange phase here, and now after getting into the lowest low, we expect the next impulse up. Now that means that we're currently in the impulsive phase, definitely after the overall order flow shifted here. And what we're now looking for is obviously only further long positions in towards the highs. Now looking here at the 4-hour time frame, what's actually ideal to do is go into the 1 hour, and what you can identify here on the 1 hour time frame is break of structure up. Here again, another break of structure up. What's been happening is that we've actually just had a massive swipe of liquidity. If you see, this is the swing low, this is the swing high. Then what did we have? Here we had the equal lows. Last night, the overall equal lows got raided, and from there we got the 1 hour change of character, after which the next upside move got fueled. Jimmy took along on this, and Luke as well, so yeah, congratulations to them. So that's kind of like a quick market update, guys. Curious to see what you have been looking at yourself. Let me know in the chat. Let me know. By the way, guys, the hair is so strange because I was wearing a cap all morning. Let's see. The breakdown you posted was fire. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. BTC USD longs. So yeah, that makes sense. Definitely, especially after what was announced yesterday. Looking at crypto longs does make sense. We've seen a nice dumping towards the downside, though the underlying fundamentals definitely should support some further upside on BTC. Currently, just the yearly there, that's preventing price from pushing any higher. But eventually I'll definitely be looking for some further upside on those pairs. I'm looking at Ethereum. I think Ethereum could look good for potential longs from the monthly open again, something like that. UJ is an interesting one as well. UJ looks good for further upside, though at the moment it is dumping. Now, what we need to look and focus on here at the moment is the overall pullback phase, right? So if you look at the 1 hour swing structure in towards the upside, ultimately you could see this as one big impulse up. Then within that impulse, where would we have, let's say, lows that are of interest? We would have the low, which is situated over, which one? This one. Then we have the low that's situated here, and we have the low that is situated here. We reacted on the very first low here this morning, actually at 7 a.m. I was looking for a double fractal break up because here we had the first low break, then we broke the fractal high, but the monthly open was just in the way, too strong of a level, as you can see again. And I was looking for this demand zone now to cause another fractal break, and then that for me would have been ultimately a nice long position to take. Now you can see that UJ is again pushing down lower with that bearish dollar. Let's keep an eye on it. It's currently in the pullback, but it looks good to potentially head up higher once again. It just needs to kind of like bottom out. Let's see if this low is going to be enough liquidity to fuel the next leg up. I do expect to see a reaction there. Ultimately, just want to wait for some confirmation on that low. Just give the 1 hour change of character, and then you can definitely look for some longs in that regard. Only thing now is obviously that the dollar index is seeing its worst day since September yesterday, causing again just further downside for now. I do expect a reaction from this low over here, so do monitor that. That should cause an overall strong bounce on the dollar back in towards the upside. We have now engineered some liquidity as well here, so if you do get into UJ longs, then what you want to do is monitor what happens when the dollar index reaches this high here. So set alerts on this high, because most likely when this high gets reached, then we could use that as liquidity, then fuel another leg down, for example, because the current overall order flow still signals that the dollar index for now should continue to head down lower. And we do now currently have an overall supply zone here that is in control, and we have the internal liquidity high here, so monitor that high for potential profit taking if you are in those UJ longs. GBPUSD, haven't talked about that one yet. GU in itself currently is just continuously pushing up higher. It's reaching the overall 3 monthly open level. This thing, what you just want to do, guys, really is wait for the overall order flow shift. What I'll do here on UJ myself is once price reaches this high here, I'll pretty much just execute a very aggressive setup. That for me is kind of like the ideal short to take. If you find the stop loss too big, then obviously you can just wait for the change of character to happen on whatever time frame, the 12-hour or the 4-hour. But I'm looking for shorts from that high there. And then on the immediate 4-hour time frame, we're currently reaching extreme levels. The free monthly open is now being reached. For now, wait for the order flow to shift. So I would say let's wait for this demand zone here to shift, because what we're now just simply doing is, again, creating some internal liquidity, which could fuel the next leg up after seeing a reaction from that free monthly open. So what's going to happen with GU is we're going to see a dump and then another push up towards that the overall highest liquidity high. Or if you see the demand zone fill, then you can look for a short from here. So focus on a short from here or focus on a long from here once you get some bullish confirmation. Personally, I don't really like to take longs like this high up in a leg when both the daily swing structure and the 4-hour swing structure is bearish. But if it aligns with your own plan, then obviously that is a setup that you can take. Then of course gold. What is weaker, GP or USD? At the moment GBP, because at the moment USD, because the US dollar has received some unexpected news in relationship to the bond market. So what the Federal Reserve announced was that they're going to be buying bonds. And when, let's say, the Federal Reserve buys bonds, it means that yields go down. So if you look at, for example, the US 10-year, which is, again, the yield on a 10-year government treasuries in the United States, you can see that yields go down. Now, yields and the dollar, so the US 10-year and the US dollar, so USD, and then on the other side you have US 10-year, these have an inverse relationship ultimately. These have a, government bonds and the dollar have an inverse relationship. But the US dollar and the US 10-year, they have a good relationship, because when yields go down, so let's say you see it going down from 4.2% down to 4.1%, it means that you're going to get 0.1% less return, meaning that the demand for the dollar goes down, again, causing the overall dollar in itself to depreciate in value. So that's why you can monitor this. And what the overall Federal Reserve announced is that they're going to buy more bonds. So when the government or the Federal Reserve buys more bonds, what then happens? Yields go down, and when yields go down, the demand for the dollar goes down, causing now overall people to shift money into gold. So gold is a long, guys. I've been talking about gold longs for ages now. This thing is going to break out in the near future. I was waiting ideally for this blue line here to get tapped and then for the overall breakout, but it already wants to head up higher. So I'll be looking just for more skill in positions on gold. I'm expecting a strong breakout and much higher levels in towards a new all-time high very, very soon. So yeah, you can look for gold longs, and then obviously the ideal setup already occurred, where what do you do, guys? You go to the 15-minute time frame, and what do we identify? You identify let's say an impulse, and then you identify that the bump in the road gets liquidated. Then once again you identify an impulse, and what you identify here, bump in the road gets liquidated. So every single time what happens is that you simply create a bump in the road, wait for that bump in the road to get liquidated, and then upside continuation. So bump in the road gets created, gets liquidated, and then upside continuation. So that time and time again. So yeah, looking for more gold buys. Yeah, I've been fucking screaming that shit off of the roof. Same goes for copper. Been talking about copper longs as well inside Discord. Hope you guys read my updates. Does anybody read the update on copper? Because then you know that I've been looking for longs. Same for gold. I've been calling gold longs already since mid-November as well. Then yeah, AUD NZD is dropping hard. Looking for more sells on this as well. Well, it's not dropping that hard. It seems to drop harder, but looking for long, or for shorts, excuse me, on this in towards the downside with this supply zone here in control at the moment. I'm just looking for an internal order flow shift, which is at the moment demand, and then again we have demand, and then again we had demand. So now I'm just looking for this low here to fill, and then for overall downside continuation to occur. So looking for more shorts here on AUD NZD. NZD CAD not really looking at that, and Swiss not really looking. NU looking for more upside. Yeah, that thing has been flying off of a cliff, as I've mentioned many times. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, we need to wait for some reaccumulation on EURUSD, obviously, before getting involved. Euro GBP looks like a good long, in my opinion. Looking for further upside on EG from the free monthly open, as always. Euro remains much stronger than the pound. And as we can see here, UJ just failed to take out this low here, but still looking good for further upside. Swiss is falling off a cliff. This is a nice one to see. I didn't find it too clean, but this morning actually, Yanche inside Discord actually dropped a great update where you have a breaker structure down, you have a clear swing high here, you have a clear swing low here. We have overall equal lows here to liquidate, and at the moment on the 4-hour time frame, we came back to liquidate pretty much trendline liquidity, and since then we've been dropping off a cliff again. So some nice price action, not the ideal price action, but relatively nice price action. This should head down lower. Same for USD CAD. I told you guys as well, I'm expecting this to head down lower towards the blue dotted line, which is equal low liquidity. You got any open positions now? No, I do not. So yeah, guys, a bit of a shorter one. Today, this is kind of like just a general market update for you. I have to run again, but I didn't want to miss out on the live stream. So we'll be doing a longer one, obviously, as always, on Tuesday. And to make it up to you guys, I'll also do an additional backtesting session, most likely this weekend. But I'll announce that inside Discord. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. Bit of a shorter one, but I have some issues that I'm fixing today. But that should be resolved tomorrow. I hope you guys understand. But yeah, UJ looks good. Monitor that for potential longs, as yeah, I do expect there to be somewhat of a bounce on UJ back in towards the upside. Okay. So yeah, guys, we speak soon, and any questions that I haven't been able to answer, make sure to let me know inside Discord. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Bit of a short one, but we speak inside Discord. Thanks for understanding.